DeKalb County is profiting from the sale of our privacy, and they're making us pay for it.
Atlanta leaders speaking out over flock surveillance cameras and their ties to ICE. In fact, they're calling for a look into how the technology is used. So let's take a listen to what's happening.
Today we're going to talk facts, so let's highlight some numbers. The first number is 3,300. In 2021, there were 3,300 cameras on Atlanta streets. Now compare that number to this one, 28,626. That's how many cameras are currently watching the residents of Atlanta live their lives. In 5 years, Atlanta went from 3,300 to 28,500 cameras. That's an 8-fold expansion. 28,000 cameras providing real-time data about where you go and what you do to anyone who can access the network or its stored data. Here's the next number, 18.9 million. That's how many taxpayer dollars DeKalb County has invested alone in this master surveillance network in 2025. $18.9 million. That's going to cover expansion for 10 straight years. So just imagine, we have 28,500 now. How many cameras will we have watching you where you drop your children off when you leave home in 2036? Here's another number for you, 10.6 million. That's the number of searches initiated on Atlanta's surveillance network in just a span of 10 months last year. 10.6 million searches. Searches like locate alien. In Savannah, 127 other searches were identified as inappropriate, non-law enforcement related searches. In Dunwoody, agents were revealed to be watching gymnastics classes full of children. Another number for you, 4,500. No, those 10.6 million searches did not come from just a dozen law enforcement agencies. They came from 4,500 different agencies. And considering each agency consists of any number of people, try to imagine how many individuals have access to your movement data, the businesses you frequent, the live footage of the classes your children are taking every day. Government officials will tell you that all of this helps to solve crime. But a study by the Atlanta Community Press Collective shows that only a fraction of 1 percentage point has been impacted in burglary and motor vehicle theft alone. While FBI data analyzed from 2021 to 2025 showed no impact in crime solving for homicide, robbery, or rape. The number of cameras expanded 8-fold. DeKalb County alone has invested $28 million, and all for what? For like 5 or 6 burglary cases? Now, this master surveillance network is being used to do more than just solve 4 or 5 extra cases of property damage. Ex-wives and ex-girlfriends have been stalked. Domestic violence crimes have been facilitated, and constitutional rights have been stripped. 5 cops in Albany, Georgia were arrested last month for using this surveillance network, again, for non-law enforcement purposes. Of 2.5 billion LLPR scans from over 200 law enforcement agencies, 99.5% of the searches conducted were unconstitutional, according to the right to privacy in the 4th, 5th, and 14th Amendments. We are paying for an apparatus whose sole intent is to surveil innocent civilians, a level of control that has already been abused by over 127 inappropriate search queries here in Georgia alone. They're a waste of time and money, and Georgia can't afford this waste. This surveillance network has given an unconstitutional level of access of our private information to nefarious actors in positions of power who have already and will continue to misuse it with no oversight.
All right, we've been listening right now to Indivisible Atlanta.
It has failed to reduce crime or make our communities safer or more peaceful places to live, while funneling millions in taxpayer dollars into a small number of private pockets. DeKalb County is profiting from the sale of our privacy, and they're making us pay for it. Crime rates increase as human suffering increases. This will always be true. A greater level of control over a community will not reduce crime. If you want a crime-free community, make a stable, healthy, happy life attainable for all. Stop investing in surveillance. Start investing in community.